Okay, so quiz tomorrow over what we've been doing so far. All right, combining like terms. Who's got the first question and can combine some like terms for me, Mary Lady?
So I put together negative 2x, 8x, and negative 4x, and then I like added those together, and then I got positive 2x, and then I added together 12 plus negative 15, and I got negative 3. So if you make it an equation, then you do 2x plus negative 3 or negative 3 plus 2x.
Or 2x minus 3. All of it works. Okay, the next one. Now, this one isn't just wanting you to simplify the expression. It is specifically stating that it wants you to use the distributive property to simplify the expression. Jonah?
So you multiply negative 3 by 4, and then also do it to 10.
Now, hold up on that 10 real quick. What's in front of the 10?
A negative.
A negative. So the negative 3 is actually going to multiply to?
Negative.
All right, so your negative 3 times 4 was?
Negative 12.
And negative 3 times negative 10?
30.
So positive 30. And your final answer?
18.
18 is correct. Very good. The next unit, let's see, after next week, next Thursday, I think is your unit test. We're going to get into combining like terms and distributive property. It should be relatively familiar and simple and everything else. Just watching negative signs. Okay, you had one question for homework last night. It was question number 8 with the discounts. It looked like this. You got dining room sets and they're discounted 40% off. And apparently we're buying a table and multiple chairs. And we want the discounted price. What is the first thing that needs to get done, Wesley?
Alright, so first you can either go ahead and put a discount on both of them, or multiply 245 times 6 and then add that plus the one table, right?
Okay, so
Either one.
all right, let's start with the 245 times 6 and adding the table to it. If you do that, what is the total? Anybody?
Come to me.
Anybody who may have done it this way. Marley?
Different way.
I got 2,660.
Okay. So before the discount, 6 chairs and a table is $2,660. What would be the next thing to do, Jimmy?
I multiplied that number by 0.6 and
Why did you choose to multiply it by 0.6?
because I did 100 minus 40 and I got 60 and then I divided by 100.
But why did you go for the 60% rather than the 40%?
That's the market price.
Okay, so 40% is the discount, 60% would be the discounted price, the sales price. All right, what did you end up with as your answer, Jimmy?
1,596.
Very good. Beautifully done. That's fine. I have heard probably about 5 or 6 different methods on solving this today, and all of them came out to be the same answer, and that is perfectly fine. Oh, I got Canon out right now. All right. On the same packet, the sales tax questions. Once you turn the page, same packet from yesterday, and I want you to do questions 5, 6, and 8. But I want you to star questions 5 and 8. I am probably going to create similar looking questions on either the quiz or the test. Okay, so 5 and 8. So I'm going to pause the video for a little bit, give you guys a chance to do 5, 6, and 8 with your groups. Okay, folks, let's look at question number 5. All right, I gave you question 5 specifically because it was not asking for the part. It gives you the 6%, so that's automatically the percent. And it gives you 51 cents. What is the 51 cents in this problem? It's the tax, and tax is another word for part. Okay, so you have the percent and you have the part. It wants to know the bill, so what are you looking for? You're finding the whole. How did you find that, Micah?
I just went to the answers, and then I did 8.5. Well, when I got to 8.5, I did 8.5 times 6 divided by 100, and got to 1. Did 5100s.
Who tested all the answer choices with the 6%? That was a good way to do it. If it's multiple choice, you can use the answers. If it wasn't multiple choice, how would we do it? Sarah.
You would put 51 in a random letter. Okay, you put 0.51 over letters X, and then you put equal, and then you do 6 over 100.
Very good. And both of y'all got which answer?
8.5 or 8.50.
Good. The $8.50 to be the answer. All right, number 6. This one's a little bit closer to the ones that we were doing yesterday. We want to find the total price, so that would be the shoes plus the tax. Abigail.
So I did 120 times 0.15 or 0.15, and I got 18. And then I did 120 plus 18 because it's tax, and I got 138.
Very good. That is correct. How about number 8? So first step, we're going to jump around on this one. Chase, give me the first step on this.
I added the 49.80 plus 37.60.
Okay, so you added the price of the skateboard to the price of the helmet, and what amount did that give you, Chase?
87.4.
87.40. All right, Sylvie, what would you do next?
I did it a different way, but I suppose here you would set up the proportion, I guess.
You could.
I put 95 over 100, because that's what you pay, and then 87.40.
Now, where did the 95 come from? Because tax and discount are different.
Okay, yeah, I think I got it from the basic discount.
Okay. Marley?
So I set up my proportion, and I did x over 87.4 equals 5 over 100.
Okay, so you found 5% of the 87.40. What did you get when you did your math?
I got 4.37.
$4.37. All right, what would we do next in this? Cannon?
Oh, I didn't do it that way.
Yeah, but what would I do next anyway? I know the cost of my items and I know my tax.
Wouldn't you add it to the
Okay, so 87.40 plus the tax of 437 gets us how much, Mary Lady?
91.7.
All right, so $91.77 is owed, and it's not the answer because why, Emerson?
It says you paid with $100 bill, and you need to know how much change, so you'll do 100 minus
Very good. Excellent job. All right. So hold on to this packet. Don't put it away yet. We're going to reference back to it in just a minute or two. But I want you to go to what I gave you when you came into class, and we're going to talk about tips and commission. Okie dokie. Tips and commission. We started out the week, hey folks, we started out the week with part and whole. We looked at how is and of can be used to relate to part and whole. Yesterday, we found that discount and sales tax are words for part. Discount and sales tax is words for part. Tip and commission are also words for part. So we're doing the same concept. I'm just continuously changing the vocabulary. Okay? We should be familiar with tips. You leave a tip when you go out to eat for the server. Okay? We need to keep in mind that a synonym for tip is gratuity. This comes up in a question in a little bit. Okay? You can write it wherever you want to. But tip and gratuity mean the same thing. Okay? It's a part of the bill that goes to the server for their job. Commission, however, may be a little foreign to us. Commission is part of sales given to the seller. If you go to Walmart, other than the greeter who says hi to everybody when you walk in, does anybody else who works at Walmart pay any attention to anybody at Walmart? Not really. Okay? Unless you need something, they pretty much leave you alone. You do your shopping, you check out, and you leave, correct? Okay. Well, if I go to the car dealership or if I walk into Best Buy, what is the first thing that happens? People speak to you automatically. How can I help you? What are you looking for? What can I do for you? They immediately want to help you. That is because their paycheck is partially dependent on commission. The more they sell, the more money they get on their paycheck. Okay? If you were to go buy a car, and that car salesman, they want to sell that car to you. They really want to sell that car to you. If they sell you a $20,000 vehicle, they get a percent of that $20,000 on their paycheck. Okay? So commission is how they earn a living. Does that make sense? And it's just part of what they sell. So the word problems we're going to be looking at today are going to involve tips and commission. And we'll start out with number 1. We are trying to find the tip on a $60 dinner, but we're going to leave a 15% tip. What is the $60 going to be? That's the whole. And we're going to change 15% to a decimal, which is 0.15. And if I want to find a tip, I'm going to take the cost of the meal and multiply it. I'm aware the cost of the meal is 60. Oh, thank you. Oh, it's Jonah's taking the blame for that.
Come on, Joe.
He told me to write 16. Okay, sorry. All right, so the cost of the meal is 60 times the 15%, which is 0.15. And we find out that the tip is how much? $9. And a lot of people, when they tip, they do a percentage.
I don't give people tips.
You know when you don't tip the server, they don't make any money?
Okay, all I do
Wait,
is if they give me
server-
change, I just don't get paid at the loaded
Okay. All right. Here's the ugly truth about waitressing and serving. They get an hourly paycheck, but do you know how much they make an hour? They make roughly $2.15 an hour. Okay? It is. But a lot of that gets eaten up by taxes. You'll learn all about that when you get a job. Okay? So when they're doing their job, they rely on those tips because that's basically that's how they're making a living. So if people go to a restaurant and they have their meal and they don't leave anything, then that server literally makes no income. That's unfortunately the way it is. Now, a lot of people tip based on how good service was, how bad service was. And that's just, everybody's preference. But that's the server's livelihood there. Their hourly paycheck is basically nothing. Okay? Because once tax comes in, it's pretty much gone. So what they have is their tips that they make every night. It's a rough job. Okay? You got to be a very special person to be a server.
Then who makes the money that they get? Who gets the money? The government. Restaurant food, isn't it?
Well, you have to think the restaurant has to pay they have to pay the hourly paycheck, but then they have to pay their food distributors. Your bus boys, the ones who clean up the tables, they're not on a server's pay. They're on a different type of pay. So there's a lot that goes on there. And then companies have to make a profit. But tips is how your servers are, paying their bills. Okay. You would be. Question 2.
My brother, he's like a cart boy at the country club, and he makes I don't know how much money he makes now, but a bunch of it goes to the golf shop and stuff. But he gets money and tips. And when he first started his job, he worked all 3 days a week, and he made $200 a week.
Yeah, for 3 days, that's not bad. Okay, let's look at number 2. We got a meal at a restaurant costing $70. That makes the 70 the whole. We want to give a 10% tip, so I'm going to change that to 0.10 or 0.1. And the question is, how much did the customer pay in total? Well, you have to remember, they're going to pay the meal and the tip. All right, so they're going to pay the meal and the tip. Well, I know that the meal is $70 plus, what's the tip?
Oh, we have to do 10%.
You got to find the 10% of 70. So the tip is the 0.10 times the 70. How much of a tip is being left? $7. So to find the total, $70 meal plus a $7 tip, $77. Okay. Change it up just a little bit on question 3. All right, on question 3, it says your dinner bill at a restaurant is $23.33. That $23.33 is the whole. You leave a tip of $3.50.
Oh, so that's the part.
That's the part because that's the actual tip. The question wants to know the percentage. We know the part, we know the whole, we want to find the percent. How could we do that? Mary Liddy?
We could do a proportion.
You can do a proportion? How would you set it up?
If I did a proportion, I would do $3.50 over $23.33 equals X over 100.
That's a perfect proportion for this. All right. And you cross multiply or you solve your equation. And
Got it.
But it's not 50.
In the decimal.
well, it does give you answer choices, so round it to the nearest whole percent. And what do you get? How much? 15%. Good. All right. I want you to do questions 4 and 5, and I'll pause the video so y'all can, be yourselves. Okay. Question number 4. Jada and Greg went to lunch at Bronco's restaurant. Their lunch cost $15.89. If they give their waitress a 15% tip, how much is the total owed? All right, Jason, what are you gonna do?
So you're gonna find out how much money they tip the waiter, the waitress.
All right, so how did you find the tip?
I'll multiply 15.89 by 0.15.
And that gave you how much?
2.3835.
So $2.38. Okay. Well, that gave you the tip. How did you find the total?
You added the lunch cost.
Okay, so $15.89 plus $2.38. And what was your total cost?
$18.27.
Very good. Well done. Okay, how about number 5? And it brings up that word gratuity, which is just another word for a tip. All right, Cannon.
So what I did return 15% into a decimal, and that gave me 0.15. So I did 34.76 times 0.15. Then I got 5.21.
Did you end there? Why?
Because it didn't say anything else. Like, didn't have to do anything else.
Very good. The question didn't ask for anything else. It just asked for the tip. So we stopped there. Okay. Okay, folks, let's go to question number 8. Shh. All right. You are being recorded. 3, 2, 1, we're going. Okay, question number 8 is one of those ones I said make sure you read it carefully. Okay? It gives you the percent, so that's not so much the issue. But what is the 13,400 in this problem, Marley?
It's the part.
It's the part, because it's the commission. What are we being asked to find in this? Marley again?
The price of the house.
Yeah, the price of the house. We're looking for the whole. We're looking for the sales. Would you please let Mikey in? All right. How did you choose to find this? I'll go to Marley again.
So I set up a proportion. So I did 2 over 100 equals 13,400 over X.
That is a great proportion. When you solved it, what did you all end up with?
We ended up with 670,000.
That is perfect. 670,000. Mary Lady?
I did the same thing, but I just did an equation, but it was symmetric.
Hey, as long as you get the same answer, proportion or equation is perfect for me.
I used to be like, oh, I love proportions. I shouldn't say used to. That was like yesterday. But anyway,
You're finding some things can tend to be easier.
yes, I feel like equations are easier. Like they don't, like I don't know why it's right. Like proportions click in my brain, but equations, I can see there.
That works. It all starts to connect after a while. All right, question number 9. We want to find the total amount after the tip. And the chatter from that group, it looks like Aaron and Charlie and Jason want to answer this one. So, Aaron, what are we going to do first on number 9, please?
First, we gotta find out what the tip is.
Correct. How are you going to find the cost of the tip?
Multiply 0.25 times 188.
Okay. And what did that give you for the tip?
47.
$47. Okay, Aaron, are we done or do we have more to do?
Yeah, more to do.
Okay, what else do we got to do?
You gotta add 188 because it's gonna be how much you paid for it. And then I got 235.
Perfect.
I didn't read the whole answer.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these questions, if they're multiple choice, 47 would be an answer, and so would 235. Okay, so always going back and reading the question and knowing what I'm doing is always a good thing. Okay, so I told you guys you have some homework to do, and it's going to help you prep for your grade tomorrow, quiz test, I don't care what you call it. Okay, we're jumping to question number 10 because it's bringing in the idea of commission. Okay, it says that Gwen's commission rate is 15%. This word rate is going to come up at different points. Rate is just saying percent. Okay, so her commission rate is the 15%. We're being asked for the commission for the sales $4,200 worth of merchandise. In your notes packet on page there, I think it's on page 4 on the bottom left, it sets up commission for you. And it gives you the proportion. It says commission as the part over sales, which is your whole, equals percent over 100. It also gives you the equation that the sales multiplied by the percentage will give you the commission. Okay? So just like what we've been doing on all the other questions, it's just new vocabulary. If we want to find her commission, we can take the percent as a decimal, 0.15, times it by her sales of 4,200, and we can get our answer. What is 15% of 4,200? Juju? 600 and what? $630 would be her commission. To the washroom?
Wait, Miss
You're going to have to rock, paper, scissors, Micah, because he was next on the list.
Is that the same as trying to find the sales tax?
Yes. Remember, everything that we've done so far, sales tax, discount, tips, commission, they're all different words for part. Okay? It's just vocabulary. We are going to actually do questions 8 and 9. So I'll pause, give you all a couple minutes on 8 and 9. But homework. Yesterday's packet, the last page has a table on it. Okay? Let's kind of all go to that because I plan to do one of the rows with you and show you exactly what I'm looking for. Because if we read the second line of the screen, it says work must be shown for each step. Oh my goodness. And we saw the week before fall break, if Miss Long says she wants the work, it is going to take half the grade if she doesn't get the work. That holds true, okay? Because I still have people trying to scrounge up their work to get their grade fixed. All right? I've got to see your work, especially on some of these things that we study. Okay? So let's do the shoes. All right? So the second row is the shoes. And it says the regular price is $120 and it is 25% off. And the first thing we're being asked to find is the discount. How would I find the discount if I know that the shoes are $120 and it is at 25% off? Jonah.
120 times 0.25.
Okay. Take your 120, times it by the 0.25. I showed my work. I know, it's not so hard. I'm asking for so much today.
Yes.
And how much is it?
So difficult. He doesn't know.
$30.
Wait,
Okay. Now I'm asked for the sale price. Well, how did you get the 90?
120 minus 30.
Okay. Regular price minus discount. I get $90. Showed my work, got my answer. The next part, now there's a question very similar to this on your quiz tomorrow when you have to go through every little step and give me an answer just like this. Okay? Which is why this is good practice. The sales tax is 0.07. But which price am I basing the tax on?
90.
The 90. Once you find the sale price, the regular price is no longer used. Okay? So we take 0.07, we multiply it by 90. Your calculator is going to tell you 6.3. If you put 6.3 on this paper, I am taking 2 points off. Why?
6.30.
6.30. This is a money question. So $6.30.
So the price of register is the tax plus the sales price.
Very good. Price at register is going to be the $6.30 tax
Plus 90.
plus the $90 sale price. And you get $96 and 30 cents. Those zeros are important in money. Okay? Now, here's my thing about turning this in. I am aware that it is a Wednesday. I am aware that tomorrow is Halloween plus a quiz plus everybody comes in Friday hyped up on sugar. I will take these tomorrow. I will take them Friday. If they come to me after Friday, there is a very high chance that I will take points off. So you have until Friday to turn it into me to get full credits.
Hold on. Does the rest of the packet need to be completed?
No, just this one page.
Okay. When is the third question?
What 30? That is it. That is it. Yeah. All right. How many blanks are there to fill out?